Hey there, Scotty from Allan Online and 7-Figure Sales Academy. So today I want to talk about how my first business was somewhat of an overnight success. Shortly thereafter, it all came crashing down. You see, back in the early to mid-2000s, after about 15 years or so of sales and account management experience across a range of industries, I decided to branch out on my own and start my own business. Now, my business partner and I started a wholesale cleaning company importing cleaning supplies from China, which we would sell to other wholesalers and end users, for example. Now, we would import multiple containers of product from our supplier in China every month, and my role was to sell our product into our customers using the methods I'd grown up with and had been quite successful. And for example, a typical sale would be maybe $100,000 plus. So I'd get on the phone and cold call everyone I could. Sales is a numbers game, I'd tell myself. And the more people I spoke with, the better. Now, I'd be disingenuous if I said we weren't successful those first few years. We were able to win several major accounts, and we'd taken the business from literally zero in sales to millions in revenue within the first 2 years. But there was a storm brewing. And it was a perfect storm because it was the global financial crisis of 2008. Now, the Australian dollar dropped from about 96 cents to 60 odd cents almost overnight. Now, being located in Australia, we sold our goods in Australian dollars, but we paid for them in US dollars. Now, this drop increased our expenses by nearly $500,000 overnight. So as I just said, our business imported goods from China into the Australian market. So when purchasing these goods, all transactions are done in the US dollar. Now, at the time we started the business, the US dollar was very close to parity with the Australian dollar, but it was never really a concern for us until it was. So one of the reasons my business was successful quickly was because we entered into long-term contracts with clients. We would guarantee pricing for set periods of the contract. No one else was doing that in the industry at the time, and the philosophy helped us win some pretty good deals. But when the financial crisis hit, it had a catastrophic effect on our business that quite frankly it never recovered from. So long story short, this is what happened. We'd ordered 5 containers of goods, and between our initial order and 30% upfront fee and the 12 weeks waiting for delivery, the dollar dropped. Now, I mean a lot. All of a sudden, our order had increased in expense by nearly $500,000. You see, the stock was the same, but the dollar wasn't. Now, it claimed in our business bank account just to receive the order, but that was only part of the problem. The problem was we now had contractual obligations to sell these goods to our customers at a loss. Now, I'm talking a significant loss, and we were bound in some cases for up to 2 more years. So unless the dollar improved, and it's still pretty poor here in Australia, I was going to sell these goods at a loss every day. So we tried to hang on for a few months, but with no real improvement, we really had no choice but to shut the doors. It got to a point where I was selling household furniture just to feed my family. I'd honestly, and still to this day, never felt so low. Now, the internet at this point in time was a business tool still in its infancy, but in saying all of the above, I could see it was the future. So I was having a chat with a friend of mine who had seen all I'd been through, and I simply asked him, "Have you got any jobs you can help me with?" And luckily enough for me, he had. So I started back on the bottom rung of selling, but with all my past experience intact and a renewed thirst to be the best I could possibly be, and more importantly, at the forefront of these emerging technologies to improve my ability to sell to the right people at the right time. Now, I've had the good fortune to generate over $500 million in sales revenues for the businesses I've worked for and with, and develop my PACER methodology, which I now also teach. You see, in my opinion, in the last few years, there's been a notable shift in the way salespeople are winning business, and some of the methods that worked in the past no longer work with the same effectiveness. So to this end, I've combined my own experience as well as studying the winners in what I call the new experience economy to transform not only my own sales processes and practices, but many others through white papers, books, webinars, training programs. Now, you might see some grey here, so you might know this. In the past, I would have recorded a training DVD, but young people today are going to say things like, "What the f is a DVD?" So I do firmly believe, though, in the quest to win the modern customer, we need to be flexible, agile, and offer genuine commercial insight to our customers. And also high fives, because who doesn't love high fives? A combination of social, digital techniques, storytelling, and strategic frameworks are going to be able to allow the next generation of salespeople to connect with prospects on levels never experienced before. So look, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. Feel free to comment and leave your thoughts below. And as always, I'm here for you. Your time is now, and let's crush it together.